This is Hoodies. Alright, we ready? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? But first, real quick. 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhymes, so I said this rhyme I'm about to say. The rhyme was deaf and then it went this way. Welcome back to another dope session of Hoodies the Podcast. I'm the host, Agar Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Or maybe not so live, but we coming at you, man. Let's put one in the air for Hoodies the Podcast. Word, let's get right on into this thing. But real quick, let's go through the motions. Take a moment. You know how I do. Take a moment. Take a moment. Everybody who's watching this, please, respectfully, take a moment. Take a moment. And the first thing you can think of that you're grateful for. You know what I'm saying? Be grateful. Think about that for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Be inspired. If you're someone who's going through healing or something like that, be inspired about who you're becoming. You know what I'm saying? Be inspired by that. I mean, somebody told me that today, and I found that to be inspiring. Be inspired by your future self. How about that one? You know what I'm saying? Just take a moment. Be grateful. Be inspired. We're all, you know what I'm saying? We're all works of art here. We're all trying to figure this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Word. So real quick, before we move on, my heart goes out to anyone who's lost a loved one today. I'm sorry for your loss. My condolences. You will make it through. It's easier said than done. With that, my family, my maternal side of things, in the family chat, just got wind that family friend, I'm going to say a lifelong family friend for as long as I can remember, since I was a kid and everything. She goes by the name of Gladys, Sister Gladys, part of the Nation of Islam. The family nickname, we called her Tootsie. Now, Tootsie was not necessarily related to us. She was just a family friend who was like family. I believe the last time I saw her, I want to say about 2018, 2019, something like that. I think I was in town in Chicago for a turkey day. And I know it was around then. I remember eating no meat. It's when I was telling her I'm plant-based. I remember explaining to her that I had changed my name and then the meaning of my name. I broke that down to her. I remember her being proud that, I actually did science on my name. I actually knew the science, meaning the meaning behind it. She also mentioned something about God consciousness or something of that nature. It was a wonderful conversation. Myself, her, my moms, and whoever else was in the living room at the time. You know what I'm saying? She would be greatly missed. And lifelong friend. I remember spending nights over a crib. Myself, my brother. I want to say me and my brother. My sister may have been there too. And it was fun. It was fun. So I wish her husband Sadiq and the rest of her family, I'd like to send them all some warm energy. Sorry for your loss. It's all of our loss, but I can only imagine what it must feel for her more immediate family. So my heart goes out to the family. May her deity be pleased with her. She was a Muslim, so may Allah be pleased with her. And forever anybody else who's lost a loved one. Man, my sentiments go out to everybody. Where she will be missed. Rest well, Sister Gladys. Rest well, Tootsie. Yeah, man. So with that, my bad. To anyone who's got a born day today, I salute you, man. I salute you. It doesn't matter if you're fresh out the womb or you've been here a while. New life, more life. I'm not about to get into my spill. You know what I'm saying? But this is your born day. You know what I'm saying? Get lit. And I ain't necessarily talking about drugs or whatever. Get lit. Have change. If nothing else, change your mindset for the day. For this day. You know know what I'm saying? Live as best you can. This is your born day. This is your birth anniversary. You know what I'm saying? Make a day of it. Dead ass. Make a day. And also, again, some good energy out to brother Ozell, who I texted with him earlier today. He's doing well. He's recovering. He's getting better. Before it was his wife that was texting me. Now it's him again. So that's what's up. Again, some warm energy to brother Ozell. Some warm energy to the family of Sister Gladys. Warm energy out to anyone who's lost a loved one today or recently. You know what I'm saying? Warm energy to anybody who's going through, just something that nobody else knows about, but yet you keep showing up, man. You keep showing up. Word. Salute to you, man. Salute. It's not easy. We're going to make it through this. We only got two options. You know what I'm saying? That's to make it or make it. It's just what it is. If you're not good, get good. I ain't even going to ask you if you good. I'm going to hope that you are. You know what I'm saying? And hey, send you out some good energy, man. Some warm energy. Gonna make it. What other choice we got? You understand what I'm saying? What other choice we got? I'm well. Same thing applies to me. It's either make it or make it. What other choice I got? You know what I mean? The other alternative is to what? Just sit there? Sit there, do nothing? We ain't built like that. We're not built like that. So without no further ado, you know what I mean? Let's go ahead and get into this thing, man. Let's see where this goes. Word. Yeah. Yo, so y'all know me, man. Scrolling through X. You know what I mean? Scrolling through X, just doing what I do between clients. If I'm not reading or whatever, I'll go through X, and it never fails. I'm inspired by something, or I found something interesting enough to mention in some content. So here that content is, for the content, and yeah, then we'll breathe life into it. Check this out right here.
No Chick-fil-A! In Harlem today! No more Chick-fil-A! No more Chick-fil-A!
Y'all, we gonna be here for a minute.
No more Chick-fil-A! 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 No more
Shut him down! Shut him down!
So first of all, shout out to our brothers and sisters in Harlem. Well, shout out to brothers and sisters throughout the whole diaspora. You know what I mean? But yeah, but particularly brothers and sisters in Harlem, USA. I think it's dope in this clip here that everybody's rocking the RBG. I usually become really irritated when I see folk rocking the red, black, and green flag and it's upside down, meaning like it's green, black, and red. I hate that. It's hard for me to trust it when it's like that. I never trust anything with it's like going to some sort of American rally or American situation and you go in there and the American flag is upside down. You know what I'm saying? And it's just upside down and nobody says anything. That's what it's like when I see, our Pan-African flag upside down. So boom, everybody got it right. Shout out to the brothers and sisters in Harlem. So for those of you who was unable to read, listen, I ain't trying to call y'all stupid or nothing, right? But let me go ahead and just add some, a little bit more context to what I just saw, right? Maybe it was moving too fast for some of you, right? So listen, for over 35 years, stores in Harlem shut down for a commercial moment of silence in honor of Malcolm X's born day, which is when? May 19th. On May 19th, 98% of stores complied and closed their business doors, for 3 hours, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., except for one, a Chick-fil-A. A Chick-fil-A refused to respect the tradition, 25-year long tradition, from the businesses in that particular community. Okay? Chick-fil-A refused to pay respect to the tradition, right? They refused to do that, to honor, and they chose to prioritize profit over principle. You know what I'm saying? Profit over protecting their own, the folk in their community, which are also, customers, if you will. You understand? They failed to do it for the late brother minister Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? Now, mind you, Chick-fil-A is closed every Sunday for religious reasons, I'm assuming. For religious reasons. You know what I'm saying? And so, listen, about all this, I don't have I don't have any harsh feelings when I see this. There's a mix of things that I feel from that clip. For one, I appreciate how peaceful our people were. Boom, boom, boom. Can we focus? Yeah. I appreciate how peaceful our people were. Although I do understand violent protest. I get it. It's the language of those who are in despair. Despair is when you're at your wit's end and you've tried everything. You've tried voting. You've tried this. You've tried that. You've tried some of everything. And when you just feel like it's hopeless, that's when folks start throwing shit. I'm not necessarily with that. When I was a little younger, in age and in mind, when I was a little younger, things like that got me fired up. Until I matured a bit and realized that what does that change? I get why it happens, but why? What does that change? It changes nothing to destroy property. You know what I mean? You made your point when you started the protest that there was some shit you wasn't feeling. But anyway, I appreciate the stern yet peaceful protest. I appreciate the 35-year-long tradition there in that particular part of Harlem. I know not exactly where that is, right? And listen, man, kudos to them for holding it down and letting Chick-fil-A know how they felt. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, they're not shutting Chick-fil-A down. Sure, they're saying shut them down. I don't think this is going to shut it down. But it will raise some awareness for the folk in the community to know that this particular business right here don't really fuck with what's important. You know what I'm saying? To us. They don't really fuck with it like that. And so I get it. So instead of overreacting, just don't spend your money there. You know what I mean? Granted, I ain't gonna stop every black person from shopping there or people in the community from going to Chick-fil-A. People's appetites tend to be a little bit more convicted about their appetite than most things, right? But I do appreciate how our folk stuck together and was you know what I'm saying, was peaceful about the situation. Now, one of the crazy things is, not that y'all knew, but my chess program, right? So we usually take a vote on where to eat because we meet at the mall now. We usually take a vote. The president gets up. Either the president or the vice president goes and takes a vote where y'all want to eat. And a lot of times, everybody ends up voting for Chick-fil-A. So I'm thinking, I'd feel some type of way if I lived in that community there in Harlem and all the businesses in the area complied to have to close their doors to commemorate Malcolm X's legacy in Harlem. And for those of you who don't know, that's where he was slain, in Harlem, the Audubon Ballroom. So I think it's pretty dope that all the businesses in that community participated in a 3-hour long, moment of silence. I think that's pretty dope. It's a great, I'd like to think that that's a great way to garner, customers. Wow. I listen, if I frequented an establishment and got wind that this is what they rocking with, I'm recommending you. I'm telling everybody about you. Fam, stop playing with me. Stop playing. I will frequent your establishment. All of that. So what I'm saying is I take, my chess program to Chick-fil-A regularly. Right? So I'm thinking, should I feel some type of way? Right? Because, okay, with the exception of all Chick-fil-A's being closed on Sunday, for religious reasons, I'm assuming. Excuse me. Each one is different. So, would it be fair? Would it be fair? Not that they'd care. I'm sure business would flourish and everything would be good for them at Chick-fil-A here at the mall, at Patrick Henry Mall. But these are two different establishments. Two different establishments. This ain't Harlem. This is not Harlem. Right? Should I feel some type of way about spending my money at Chick-fil-A? You know what I'm saying? Or is that something I should just keep in mind should I ever find myself in Harlem? Near a Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? And then, nah, fuck that. I'm not going to that one because them motherfuckers didn't honor the moment of silence for Brother Minister Malcolm. I would do that shit, by the way. Or should it be that in every Chick-fil-A? You know what I mean? Now, I know as a man, we supposed to make decisions and stick to it, or switch it up if we like. But it's got me thinking though. You know what I mean? I don't like that. And I think that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You want to make a statement, tap them in the pockets. Don't spend your money there. That's what I get when I hear things like shut them down, shut them down. Of course, chanting shut them down is not going to shut them down. I'd like to think that shut them down means don't spend your money there. They don't rock with us. That's what I would get from that. But this ain't Harlem. This is Newport News, Virginia. It is a Chick-fil-A. And not all management is the same. Not all management is the same. So should I no longer frequent the Chick-fil-A establishment, period? And all its franchises? Say to hell with them niggas? For what the one in Harlem did? What's the play here? I'm wondering. You know what I mean? It's nothing to not eat there. But is it that serious? I mean, sure, it's that serious. But is it that serious? All Chick-fil-A's? All Chick-fil-A's? Or just that one? Yeah, Tink. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, wonderful though. Wonderful. I wonder how they were able to pull that off though. For 35 years. I suppose it doesn't matter. And I get it. If they can't respect Harlem's history, They don't deserve Harlem's dollars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the question still remains. Boycott Chick-fil-A? Because that's what we're talking here. When I say don't spend your dollars there. Boycott Chick-fil-A? What would you do? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. There's a part of me that says, well, that's Harlem. And that's what's up. The citizens, the black folk there, the citizens there, did exactly what they were supposed to do. They needed to get a point across. They did that. From my knowledge, nobody was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was arrested. Nothing happened to any employees, from what I understand, from the Chick-fil-A that didn't close. I don't think I don't think anything bad happened. But a little bit of discomfort, I'm sure from that establishment. You know what I mean? I love it when black folk come together for something other than church. Or I love it when black folk come together for something other than religion. I love it when we've got a collective thought and it's for something positive. I love it when we move like this outside of, religious beliefs. I love it. It once again shows that because that has been, the old adage for quite some time. You can't get black folk together unless it's for church or some shit. You know what I mean? You can't get black folk together on one accord. And it's beautiful to see that. Everybody waving their Pan-African flag. Man, that shit was fucking beautiful, man. Word. And all in honor, Brother Malcolm. Man, powerful stuff. But, should we boycott Chick-fil-A? Yes, I'm a Pan-Africanist. Yes, I stand in solidarity with my people. Of course. But we're not in Harlem. And the reason why I keep saying we're not in Harlem, it's because, now, I'm assuming here, right? Not every, community that is predominantly black has that tradition. So boycott the one up the street, the one at the mall, because of what the one in Harlem did? And listen, they got what was coming to them. Dead ass. But do we boycott the whole institution? Or just that particular location of dickheads who don't get it? Probably some new age young motherfuckers that just don't get it. They just don't fucking get it. I don't know. We don't know. This is probably the part of the show where I wish I could call people, have people come in and give comments and shit like that. Listen, I'd like to hear your comments on this. In fact, I'm going to leave it out there. I'm going to mull this over a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in the late 80s, 89 to be exact, when Do the Right Thing came out, the Spike Lee joint. And great, wonderful movie. Classic. It's a classic movie. It's a classic. A cult classic, if you ask me. However, there were some critics, just like anything, there were some critics. And some of the critics of that movie, Do the Right Thing, the reason why a lot of people didn't rock with it is because it didn't provide a solution. It showcased the racial tension in Bed-Stuy, Do or Die, Brooklyn, New York, between the races. Well, I did say racial tension, right? So there's tension in that particular neighborhood with the races. There's tension with the police, the NYPD. Yeah, there's just, it's crazy, and it just all came to a head. And it was, y'all seen the movie, and when Mookie threw the trash can through the window, and then it burned down, and fight the power, all of those things. And some of the critiques of the movie was it didn't provide a solution. You know, yeah, I think I don't know. I think at the end when Senior Love Daddy was on the radio at what's the name of the radio? Oh, the station. This is your Senior Love Daddy from We Love Radio. Is it We Love Radio? Last on your dial, but first in your hearts, and that's the quintessential truth, Ruth. It's one of my favorite movies, man. One of my favorite movies. But I think at the end when he talked about how we got to stop some shit and vote if you're into that kind of thing. So anyway, went down a rabbit hole. I'm saying that to say that that's kind of what this is going to be right here. You know, I think one of the tools in our toolbox in terms of handling ourselves, handling just anything, I think it's important to really think things through. You know, and understand that we don't have everything all figured out. The only thing I got figured out is that I don't got shit figured out. You know what I mean? The only thing I got figured out is I ain't gonna quit on myself. You know, outside of that, I know nothing about nothing. I ain't got nothing figured out. You know, I think a lot of us would like to think that we got shit figured out. We'd like to think so. I can't speak for everybody, but the only thing I got figured out, other than myself, and I'm still learning that, is that I don't have everything figured out. That's the only thing I got figured out. So the question still stands: What would you do? Stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Harlem, USA? Fuck it. Don't shop at no Chick-fil-A. Is that the play? You know what I'm saying? Or do we hold that Chick-fil-A accountable? Do we give that Chick-fil-A no black dollars, no Harlem dollars? Well, we ain't from Harlem, but no black. If you find yourself in Harlem, don't fucking go to that one. Or do we boycott the whole organization? What do we do? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the question. What would you do? What would you do? Word. Well. So here we are. NBA Finals. Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. Two small market teams. When is the finals? Hold on. When's the finals? Finals start Thursday. Thursday at 8:30 on the 5th. And that'll be in Oklahoma. Word. Okay, so Thursday. So yeah, what are y'all predictions, man? I got OKC taking the whole shit all the way. And by the way, man, I want to say sorry to you New York Knicks fans. It was some of y'all fans that kind of took me over the top, man. Some of y'all fans. And so y'all had to fall. But I really do like the Knicks. So I apologize for some of the things I said. You know what I mean? If y'all can forgive me, I can forgive y'all. No? You can't? Then fuck you, nigga. But anyway. Also, just got wind today that the Knicks fired y'all head coach. Tom Thibodeau got fired? Word? Damn. Y'all did better this season than y'all did last season. Y'all had a second round exit last season. This year y'all made Eastern Conference Finals. Word? Got you to the Eastern Conference Finals. You ain't been there in 25 years. Y'all have made playoff contention in 4 out of 5, the 5 years I think he's been there. And y'all fired him? Damn. That's rough, man. I don't know, man. So, yeah, man. Hey, sorry for the organization. Sorry for the fans. You know? Y'all were talking shit, though, so good. Y'all had to go. Y'all had to fall. But shout out to all the teams that made the playoffs this postseason. Everybody gave it a damn good try. From Cleveland to Denver. You know what I mean? The Lakers, Timberwolves, Clippers, Celtics. You know, Miami. All these teams, man. Knicks. Word. It's been a great playoffs. And once again, like I said, you can tell. It's happening. So we're going to be getting games like every couple days now. Right? I know, like every 3. Like, for example, game 1 of the finals is June 5th. That's Thursday. Then the next one ain't till the 8th. Then the next one ain't till the 11th. You know what I'm saying? Then the next one after that ain't till... Anyway, y'all get the point. So it's happening. But, hey, let's just make the best of what we got left in terms of the NBA. So I really don't have a whole lot to say. However, it was something I wanted to say last pod, and I'm not even sure if I said it. I think Jason Tatum may come back sooner. I think because it's saying he may be out all next season or most of it. I think he may come back sooner. And let me tell you why I'm saying that, right? I'm saying that because there was this surgeon, and I read this article like right after the injury. I read this article because, okay, for example, Kevin Durant, when he had his injury, his last injury, I think he went down on like a Friday or a Saturday when he, tore his Achilles. A Friday or a Saturday, right? He didn't, according to the surgeon, right? This medical person, this surgeon, fuck it. He said that after Kevin Durant had that accident on that Friday or Saturday where he tore his ACL, he didn't get surgery until that following Wednesday, right? Because, an athlete may have a doctor. Maybe not. I don't know. They may have their own doctor, family doctor, something like that. But a lot of times, they're out of state. Maybe they've been traded or whatever. Or who knows how it works. Maybe you've got, enough income to where you can make some of the best doctors in the world your doctor. I don't know how that works. But the point is, torn Achilles on a Friday, Saturday, he doesn't see, he doesn't get surgery till that following Wednesday. Now, Jason Tatum, on the other hand, he got his surgery because this was in New York. Remember, they were playing the Knicks in New York. He got his surgery the following morning. Now, the reason why getting the surgery sooner, according to this surgeon, is because, okay, so he gave more than one example of an athlete, but let's say Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant, let's say he fell on a Friday and didn't get the surgery till the following Wednesday. So from Friday to Wednesday, that's enough time to where scar tissue will start to form around, I guess, the torn ends, because it's this band that, that breaks, it tears. So on each end of the tear, there's scar tissue starting to form. And then they get the surgery, and that is what takes the longer time to completely heal. Right? He also explained that since Jason Tatum got his surgery the following morning, That's before any scar tissue has started to form, making both torn ends easier, making conditions more favorable for a faster healing process, right? And also went on to note that because of his age, I believe Jason Tatum is just, what 27, 28? I think 27. So he's fairly young. He's got youth on his side. He didn't wait, a week, well, almost a week or so before he was able to see a surgeon. And so they're also saying that because of that, his recovery time will be shorter than what we've seen. But knowing the Celtics, they'll probably have him stay out. Because, listen, I'm sure, I can only imagine it's probably a really, really long process. You got to get the surgery. Then you probably can't do nothing. You can't do nothing, on that leg, period. Then at some point you can walk. Then you've got to go through physical therapy and strengthen it again. And then get cleared to get physical, and then maybe 1-on-1, and eventually 5-on-5, and then you know what I'm saying. It's just a long process, so we'll see. I just wanted to throw that out there to give NBA fans, particularly Celtic fans, a little bit of hope. I found a little bit of hope with it. You know what I mean? I found a little bit of hope that he'll be back sooner. So we just got to stay tuned for all the other changes that's going to happen. I hear on the rumor mill that Drew Holiday is going to be out of there. I think the Kings want him. All NBA rumors and such at this point. But the Kings want him. I believe some teams were talking about acquiring Al Horford and Kristaps Porzingis. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Hold up. Hello?
Yeah.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What you up to?
Get me something to eat.
All right, nigga. You want Hoodies the podcast real quick?
Man, come on.
Nah. We ain't doing that.
I knew I shouldn't have picked up.
Hey. Well, hey, real quick. Who you got?
I did this face to face.
Nah, man. Nah. Come on, now you on my show trying to tell me how to run it. Listen, I just want to ask you a couple questions, all right? All right. You do all throughout the finals. This is what it's gonna be. So get used to it. Tap in, nigga. Hey,
all right.
Who you got in the finals, fam?
Well, I got in the finals, huh?
Yeah, we got in the finals.
I'm gonna rock with the thoroughbred. I'm rock with the OKC boys.
Yeah. I'm thinking that too. Man. Hey, so what have you what's been your thoughts about these playoffs, the whole up till now?
I mean, the playoffs was decent this year, but when you consider, Steph Curry, he went down with the injury.
Right.
It kind of took some of the flames away from the playoffs because, I wanted to see the battle of, Minnesota going up against Golden State, with a full Curry.
Right.
And, when he went down, when he went down, it left a sour taste in my mouth,
right.
Personally. I mean, the playoffs were still decent, but that right there it started off, it's like one of those things, it started off with a bang, but it went out with a whimper.
Word. So what are you saying? You say Steph Curry don't go down? Golden State is still in it?
Yeah, Steph Curry didn't go down with that hammy. I don't believe Minnesota would have eliminated the Warriors, in my opinion.
Even with the size difference and all.
Even with the size difference and all. Because I mean, it's not like the OKC. It's not like OKC. You know, is a big team as far as size go, and they was able to get past the Minnesota Timberwolves. So why would Golden State be any different?
Maybe I couldn't tell you.
What you mean you couldn't tell me?
You said why would
What you mean you couldn't tell me? OKC got that skinny dude. What's his name? Shaq Holger.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Man, if the wind blows hard, it'll blow him away. What I'm saying is that you talking about you mentioned something about Minnesota has size. Well, OKC doesn't have that much size, and they was able to get past Minnesota. So why would Golden State be any different? How come Golden State? What makes you think Golden State would have be able to get past Minnesota? They win. They did go up. They did win that game 1 in Minnesota.
True. What was it? I can't remember. What was that series?
It was 4-1.
4-1.
Minnesota. Yeah.
I mean, that kind of says it all. But
Curry
Curry went down though. So Curry went down.
Yeah,
so
Curry
it
played that game.
Right. That's true.
Man, come on, man.
All right. I know you like dynasties, man. I know you rock with them heavy. I know dynasties, and I know you wasn't rocking with OKC. I know you rocking with them now. But I mean, I guess you ain't got no choice now. You're down to the last 2 teams. So.
I mean, perhaps.
What are your thoughts about the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, the Eastern Conference. I mean, you know, just going further. You know, after this season, I mean, ain't no telling what the Eastern Conference is going to look like because with the potential of, you know, Giannis, you know, might be looking to leave. I mean, they ain't really gonna have no bona fide, you know, star or / superstar like that. It's gonna be pretty much wide open.
What, in the East?
I mean, you got, I mean, with Tatum going down, and more than likely he's gonna be out for, you know, the whole year next year. He ain't gonna be back until the year after next. So,
Probably not. He'll probably be back sooner. But all right. Worst case scenario, I feel you.
I mean, the East is pretty much wide open. I mean, you know, the fact that, I mean, not taking nothing away from Indiana, but, I mean, you know, the East is, I mean, it's like what people call it. It's called East, a.k.a. the least. It's the weakest conference.
Yeah. People have been saying
but not taking nothing away from Indiana. Not taking nothing away from Indiana. I mean, they did their thing. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. So, I mean, you know, they had every other chance, just like the other 8 teams in the Eastern Conference had, as far as playoffs go.
Right, yeah. I'm surprised at Cleveland. I thought they would have made more noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, they proved to you and me and everybody else that they're just a season team to go out the way they did.
Right. Miami, I figured that would go down the way it did. Orlando, even though it was a gentleman's suite, they seem tough. You put some folk around Pancaro, that team's going to be a problem.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean...
Can't do nothing with that young man.
Yeah, but I ain't going to give Orlando too much credit. I think that was more of Boston's style of play than Orlando Magic.
Yeah, okay, all right. I mean, Pancaro still can't do nothing with him. But, yeah, you're right. They're a few pieces away from making some big noise. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, but with Boston's, you know, style of play, shooting out on threes, and, I mean, it reared its ugly head in that next series because it should have been the Pacers and the Celtics in the conference finals, not Pacers and the Knicks.
That's a fact. And
you see, and not to cut you off, you see how, you know, the Knicks fan base conducted themselves after they defeated the Celtics. They acted like they won the championship.
Oh, hell yeah. They was wilding.
Yeah.
You see, and then you see the way they was treating like some Pacer fans and shit. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
That was crazy.
Brian Wayhorse and all that, like that was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, hell yeah, that was crazy, man. Yeah.
So you could tell that, you know, they're not used to success like that.
Well, it's been 25 years.
Yeah, well, still, they still had two more icebergs to hop over.
Yeah, it was all premature. And then they fuck around and fire the coach.
Yeah, I had a problem with that. I mean, so like we talked about this before personally. Tom Thibodeau is a good coach to have if a team hasn't made if the team hasn't had a playoff appearance in the past several years, like a team like the Charlotte Hornets or a team like the Washington Wizards. He's a great coach to have, but when you got championship aspirations, nah, he ain't that guy.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know. Or maybe this was it. Maybe this was the tea leaves. You know what I mean?
I ain't have a problem with the Knicks giving Tibbs his walking papers, especially when you got a guy out there like Mike Malone. You need to go ahead and reach out to him. And
he got fired too, man.
Yeah, but he also has a championship.
Those are facts.
And last time I checked, Tibbs been fired from multiple teams, and he's never had even won a championship.
Yeah, that's a fact. He's gone from team to team, and they've only gone so far.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a problem with that move.
Yeah, you got a point there. I just assume that I mean, for them to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, that's pretty big for that franchise.
Well, listen. The organization for the Knicks, they're looking at it like this. Like, they felt like they had the talent, they had the squad to get past the indianapacers, and being that they came up short, somebody has to take the fall.
Right. That's
especially, like I told you, especially after that game one, that was a fireable offense just by itself.
Right.
I mean, people want to say, people want to, place the blame on the players. Well, I mean, which is rightfully so, but, your coach also need to put your players in position to be successful where they won't have that type of collapse.
Right. No lies. No lies. You know what I mean? I wonder what Durant's going to do this offseason. Durant and Giannis.
Well, no, I mean, I would like to see Giannis stay in Milwaukee. I mean, because it's not a guarantee once you go from team to team, it's gonna guarantee you a championship.
No, staying in Milwaukee ain't gonna do that either.
Right, but damn, I mean, to me, I don't see where he can go. The landscape was kind of bleak because no matter where he go, that team is going to have to gut their core players just to bring them in.
Right, that's a fact. So it won't be Boston.
Nah,
we ain't got the money.
Of course not. And to do all that and just not to win again, I mean.
Right, Spurs, him, Wemby, and Chris Paul.
Yeah, but they are, and whether Chris Paul is there or not, I mean, Wemby, he's still young. He's still young and stallion. So,
right.
I mean, he's never even reached the playoffs. So, he's
right.
still got some development to do, I mean, just mentally and physically.
Right.
And he's about to leave Milwaukee and go to the Spurs. And to me, I was just,
Houston.
To me, yeah, but that's a young squad, too.
Maybe that's what you need. Yeah, but hey, that's a young squad with Ime Udoka. Never know. They might need some young guns. These teams are playing fast now.
Yeah.
Get you some young guns and a hard-nosed coach. Never know.
That's true, but you be leaving Milwaukee, going to Houston, and you be going to the Western Conference. That's the Wild Wild West. I mean, because every team is looking to get better. And just because you leave one situation, go to another situation, don't guarantee you anything. The grass is not always greener. At least in the East, even though it's wide open, you still got a chance.
Right, that's a fact. And then we still haven't even talked about what Houston would have to give up to get them.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Yeah, man, just wanted to call, get your insight. I'm going to be calling you throughout the finals. know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, next time, no, that's my phone.
I get you the answer.
No, that's what I'm saying. Why don't we just do it face to face?
Nah, that don't work. My setup,
TV.
my setup ain't compatible for that. Got to keep swinging the mic around. I don't like. That's not a good look. I don't like that. Just
Okay, all right. Okay, when you break it down like that, I understand.
I'm gonna do you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you had a Zoom camera or some shit and a mic over there, I've been trying to tell you to get one, even offered you one, but that ain't your thing. So here we are.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, you make sense.
Here we are. All right.
feel you.
Appreciate your insight, yo.
Yes, sir.
Hey, anything new? Any new news? Any NBA news to shock the world? You know you be knowing shit.
Well, I mean, of course, everybody knows, just like you do. Michael Jordan is only going to be doing this thing on NBC. As a special contributor. But
Yeah.
I guess, I guess depending on, a big game, I guess he'll just make a special guest appearance, just talking about today's game and today's players.
just to give you basketball purists something to salivate at. That's about it.
Yeah, which is cool. I just don't want him. I just don't want him to, be on there too much, because I don't want people, bashing him, on Twitter, like how they do,
man.
Charles Barkley and Magic and them. Sometimes, I mean, just me personally, I don't think he needs to do this, but it is what it is.
The guy, he want to protect his favorite player. He want to protect him. He want to keep him protected and tucked away and safe. This nigga, wow, man, that's ridiculous. I don't want him out there like that. That's what it is. He want to keep him safe.
And you know what, Big Bird? Can I tell you something here live on the air? Can I tell you something?
Yeah, what?
You're right. That's exactly what it is.
I know I'm right. That's crazy, man. This dude try to protect Michael Jeffrey Jordan. This dude right here, man. But all right, man.
That's exactly what. Because listen, man, everybody has a voice today, man. So you're gonna have so many people comment on what he said, and I'm just saying, man, I don't want that for him.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
You're right.
Wow.
I guess he knows what he's getting into. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, for what it's worth, man, he's still the GOAT. You know what I mean?
True that.
He's still the GOAT.
True that.
Word.
True that.
Word. All right, fam, I'm gonna holler at you.
10-4, big dog.
All right, peace. One.
Peace.
Word. And that's all I gotta say about that. All right, so want to thank y'all once again for checking me out. You know what I mean? Thank you for your likes, subs, and your shares, your comments, all that good stuff. Thank y'all for sending me some good energy. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for listening to me babble. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the notification button. I think that's the bell or something like that. Subscribe, all that good stuff, man. Again, some warm energy out to Brother Ozell. May your healing continue to progress. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the memory and the legacy and the warmth of the late Sister Gladys, aka Sister Tootsie. You know what I'm saying? You will be missed. You know what I mean? And shout out to you if you got a born day today, man. Whether you've been here a while, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff, man. I want to thank you. And also, once again, shout out to everybody who's going through something that don't nobody else know about. Just keeping it together. You're going through it. I know, but you still show up, man. You're much appreciated. I appreciate you. Keep going. Keep doing the work. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Dead ass. I'm telling you what I know, man. Dead ass. Yeah, man. Y'all stay up. This has been real. Y'all stay up. And I'm gonna get out of here, man. And thank you, all of you, all my subscribers, all that. Y'all stay up. And yeah, man. This is Hoodies. I'm the God Rashidi. This is Hoodies. Peace. Hey. This is Hoodies.